Good afternoon, dear students. So we'll start the class now. Okay, it's visible, right? Can anyone say, please? Slides are visible now. Yes, Abdul.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
yes. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so due to the bad network, we'll just recall few things from the previous class. That is, we have studied about the construction planning and construction scheduling, and even we were discussing about the different types of construction scheduling. Okay, so just we'll glance few points from the construction planning. That is, the main objective of this construction planning is to execute the entire project activities with most economically, both in terms of money as well as the time. So since we discussed in the earlier classes, in this construction part, cost and time are the major factors that entire project will work based upon these parameters. Okay, so like that, we need to concentrate much with respect to money as well as the time, and according to, by keeping those factors in the mind, we need to do the further planning. Okay, and here effective planning includes the following factors. That is, if you want to do a proper planning, then you require proper design of each element of the project. So proper design in the sense, not only with respect to reinforcement designs, with respect to each and every activities part, like how exactly we need to start the work, and what about the time durations, and which materials are required for that, and what is the standard procedure to complete that particular work. Because once that particular design is perfect, then easily you can work out with respect to those activities, so that you can complete the work within time as well as within budget. And second factor, the proper selection of the equipment and machinery. So this selection process, which is dependent upon the type of work, what it that activity includes. For example, for excavation, you require dozers and all, and for erection process, you require cranes and all. So in the planning process, we need to plan thoroughly such that for that particular activity, which machinery is required, and how exactly we are going to carry out that work by using these equipments as well as the machinery. So selection process is most important thing in the planning process, because at the time of execution of that particular activity, decision making about the equipment is a bad thing. So in the initial stage only, we need to plan in a such a way that for to conduct or for to complete that particular activity or that civil engineering work, which type of material, which type of equipment or machine is required, and how we are going to conduct that activity. And in big projects, the uses of large capacity plants are found economical, because usually in the high rise buildings such as the big projects and all, we need to prefer equipments rather than the labor work. Okay, so in that cases, that work can be complete in earlier time with a less cost. Okay, and a proper arrangement of repair of the equipments and machinery near the site of work to keep them ready to the work. So might be you can see in so many construction sites, equipments may come for the repair. Okay, might be it may take some time for the maintenance and all. So whatever the necessary precautions are there for that active presence of the equipment, such as maintenance, repairing work and all, so it should be nearer to the construction site. So in some cases, due to some obstacles, might be that equipments may come for the repair purpose. So to repair that one only, taking extra time, again it is very difficult to continue with the further works. So whatever the maintenance things are there, repairing concepts are there, so it should be easily available for those equipments, so that further work, it should not be delayed with respect to time. Okay, and the procurement of trained and experienced staff on the project. So for this planning process, we require trained and experienced staff, because they will be knowing that how exactly we need to conduct the work with respect to a planning process. Okay, and to provide welfare schemes for the staff and workers, such as medicine and recreational facilities. So we need to provide such a facilities to the workers with respect to, might be with respect to what we can see, we can provide something shelter, I mean the good shelters, and even we can provide free medicines, so that they will be having some enthusiasm to work on the site, and we need to motivate that one, motivate those workers regularly, so that it is going to help to complete the work as per the planning schedule. And next one, to arrange proper safety measures such as proper ventilation, proper arrangement, and light as well as the water. So here arrangement, which is purely much important for the workers, because if surrounding area is good to work, without any hesitations, the laborers or workers can easily work in the construction site. So we need to provide proper ventilations and proper arrangement of light and water, so that workers easily can get those facilities without any much trouble. And moving on to the next concept, that is scheduling of a construction project. As we all know that the scheduling is nothing but providing start as well as the end time for a particular activity by provide required quantity of resources. So here, for any given work, the resources required are materials, manpower, machinery, and money. So we have studied about the resources, different resources, that is 4M plus 1T. That is men, material, machine, and then money. With respect to that, 1T stands for time. Okay. So here, assigning these resources for a particular activity will comes in this construction scheduling part. Okay, and so these resources have to be utilized in a planned and efficient manner in order to derive the maximum benefit. Somehow we will be getting the facilities such as availability of resources to carry out the different works, so we need to utilize that one in a proper manner, such that whatever the output we are getting at last, whatever the productivity we are going to achieve, so that one it should be in a good manner, right? So like that, we need to use those resources effectively as well as efficiently. And here scheduling is a mechanical process for setting the various planned activities in order by fixing starting as well as the finishing date. So here in the planning stage, we'll be dividing that entire project into a number of activities as well as the sub activities for those main activities. Okay, so here for this sub activities as well as the main activities, we need to fix a start date as well as the end date, right? So as per that only we need to carry out the work. So that process we can see in this construction scheduling part. Okay, and here for each part or activity of the work in such a manner that the whole work is executed in orderly and in a systematic way. So when you have properly referred, when you have properly prepared and referred this construction scheduling part, so as per the planning, you can go with that particular path, then you can achieve the goal of a project. And here the schedule, it should indicate the quantity of work. So here in this scheduling part, you will come to know that how much quantity of the work is there, and how much duration is going to be consumed for that work. That one easily you can see in the scheduling chart with respect to material, labor, equipment, money, and time, which is adopted to each operation and progress of the work. So in the definition part only, you can see a particular scheduling part, it requires start date as well as the end date for an activity with respect to a required resources. Okay, so like that, you are easily going to track each and every activities with by referring this scheduling part. And you can see the uses here. It gives quantity of the work involved with respect to labors, materials, equipment for each work, and the actual progress of the work. It can be checked by using this scheduling, because in the planning stage, yes, in this particular week, we need to complete these activities. The same thing you are going to check after 1 week. Then you can compare the planned activities as well as the actual completed activities, and then you will come to know that whether you are in a proper path, I mean with respect to duration, whether you are going to carry out those works, or you are lagging behind, or you are too fast compared to that planned activities. So like that, you are going to cross check that one by using this scheduling part, which one you have prepared at the planning stage. And here the project can be carried out in a systematic manner by using this scheduling, because each and every activity's start date and end date will be already known. So just by referring that timetable, you can carry out the work, and you will be knowing that you will be having certain targets, so that within that particular targets you are going to complete that work. Okay, so that one you can easily achieve by using this scheduling part of the project. It's audible, right?
Yes, bro.
Yes, sir.
The voice is clear, or again it's breaking like last time? Voice is clear, right?
So breaking little bit.
Breaking little bit. Whether this problem is same to everyone, or how?
No, sir, my side is clear.
Okay. Deepesh, if something is not understanding, you can take that part, and again I will re-explain those things after the class. Okay. You just mark those points. If something is not audible properly, again I will re-explain those things. Okay, Deepesh?
Okay, sir.
Yes. Okay. So coming to the part, advantages of scheduling, that is alternative method of construction can be examined at the planning stage, and most economical method can be chosen. So in the planning stage, we have discussed so many phases, such as even in planning stage we'll be having different alternatives, such as plan A, plan B, plan C. So in that plan A and plan B, plan C, like that, so many plans will be there. So among these plans, we are going to choose the best one with respect to time, with respect to economical stage, and with respect to quality control, right? So by referring these aspects, we are going to choose that particular plan, so that it will be much beneficial to complete that project work. Okay, and it gives a clear idea regarding the requirement, materials, and equipment at different stages of the work. So in the scheduling part, for every activity, what and all you require, no, so each and every details will be given in the scheduling part, so that whenever you are going to carry out that work, just few time before, at least 1 day before, you can check the requirements, what and all you require to carry out that work. That one you can arrange it well in advance, so that it won't be much trouble while executing at the starting date of that activity. Okay, so here cost control study of the project at the different stages of the construction. It can be periodically on the basis of expenditure, returns, and progress of the different items of work. So here, whatever you are going to consume, with respect to all the resources, such as man, material, machine, like what and all you are going to consider for the requirement. So whatever it will come for the site, and how much you are going to use, so each and every details in the scheduling part, it is going to be noting down, so that the total expenditure also you can calculate, or you can estimate at the end part of that activity. Okay, so again you can recompare those things with a planned estimation, so that the difference you will come to know, so that at the end you can make some changes to bring that one for the right path. And here, fourth advantage, that is, as the time of starting of each activity is known, the arrangements of different materials, labors, machines, and finance required for stages of the construction can be made. So when you want to start a particular activity, just before that, if you refer the scheduling part, you will be knowing that what and all requirements you require, right? What and all resources you require. So how much quantities it is required, how many days it's required. So each and every details will be known by using the scheduling part, so that you can arrange those resources well in advance, and it won't be much trouble to arrange each and every resources at the time of execution. Next, as the quantity of the work and the duration of each operation for which the plants and equipments requirements are known, the arrangement of these can be made in time, and so to avoid the unnecessary expenditure by keeping them idle. So this, by referring this particular scheduling, you'll be knowing that at which date which equipment for how much hours it's required. So only at that particular time you can use those equipments, and remaining hours you can use that one for other works. So overall, in overall construction projects, that expenditure on the equipments will be much higher compared to all other aspects. So we need to use this one effectively and efficiently only by referring this scheduling part. Okay, and the actual progress schedule was shows whether the work is slow or fast, and if the work is slow, and it is made fast by speeding up the activities. So it's nothing but what, just you are going to compare the initial planned stage with respect to a executed part, and then you are going to compare whether we are going fast or whether we are going to slow. So if the process is slow, then at the time of buffer time, I mean this buffer time is nothing but the gap between one activity to the other activity. You will be studying that in detail in the further class, that buffer time. So just by using that buffer time, you can complete that whatever the work is lagging. Okay, and the requirement of funds during the various stages of the project can be predicted fairly and accurately. So this one, I mean the requirement of funds and all, it requires in various stages, so you can arrange that one well in advance by using this scheduling part. And the total time required for the completion of a project is also known. So once if you prepare this entire scheduling part, you will come to know the exact duration of the project, so how many days it is going to be consumed. That one also you can do the estimation by using this scheduling part. Okay, and here we have studied various types of schedules, that is different types of schedules what we have discussed. They are construction schedule, material schedule, and then labor schedule, equipment schedule, and then expenditure schedule. So this one we were discussing in the previous class. That is construction schedule. It purely belongs to the as well as the end date of that particular activity. Okay, and here in this schedule, the work is divided into number of operations. That's nothing but activities, main activities, and for those main activities, whatever the sub activities will come. So I think I have given one example with respect to a main activity as well as the sub activity. It's like what, for one particular project you'll be having several main activities such as construction of foundation, construction of plinth level, construction of column, beam, slab, painting, plastering. They all are like the main activities. So whatever the sub activities will be there for these main activities. You can take one example, that is construction of foundation. So if construction of a foundation is one main activity, so the sub activities are like excavation of the earth, clearing the site, and then reinforcements, form work, and then placing of the concrete, then curing, removal of the form work, right? So they all are like the sub activities for that main activity. Clear? So That particular part of sub activities as well as the main activities will be known by using this construction schedule. Okay, and here the quantity of each operation and time allowed for its completion are mentioned, and also the amount of work and rate of completion of the work, with making the allowance for bad weather is also done. So here, in case if you are starting with respect to seasonal conditions such as rainy season and all, so in that case you are keeping some days extra for some activities which are lagging with respect to weathering conditions, for example heavy rains and all. That time you can keep some extra time for such activities which are purely depends on the nature part, right? I mean, because of that nature or because of some climatic conditions, that work which is going to be lag, so that one you can get to complete by using that buffer time. So that one also it will be marked in this construction schedule with respect to a start as well as the end date of that activity. And here the actual progress of construction during the execution is also marked, that to determine whether the construction progress is progressing with according to a plan or not. So initially we'll be doing the original plan, and then we are going to compare that one with the construction schedule, whether we are going as per the planning stage or whether we are going too fast or whether we are going or whether we are lagging. Okay, so that one we will come to know by taking a reference as the original plan. And here, before preparing the construction schedule, the following details has been collected. So once if you want to prepare this construction schedule, you require certain data such as various operations needed in a particular project. Various operations are nothing but the main activities as well as the sub activities. Okay, and here the quantity of various items of work involved. So here quantity of various items are nothing but the amount of resources and the type of resources, how much it is required for how many days. So each and everything will be known in this construction schedule, and the total number of labors are required, that one also will be known by using this construction schedule, and number and type of machines and equipment needed, that one also will be known by using this construction schedule, because for each and every activity we'll be marking the requirements. So as per that requirement, we'll be knowing that total quantity of the resources and for how much duration which is required. So each and everything will be known by using this construction schedule, and sequence in which the various activities are to be taken in hand. We'll be knowing that which are the main activities and which are the sub activities, right? So for this main activities and sub activities, which activity has to start first and which activity has to start next. So that sequence is also most important to complete the project work in an earlier time within the budget also, right? Because if you start planning with respect to construction of foundation, and after that you will go for construction of column and then slab, beam, they are the date of starting and finishing of each operation, that one also which is most important to prepare this construction schedule, start date as well as the end date. So here we have already explained this particular chart, that is construction schedule. In the y-axis you can see the different activities, right? And in the x-axis at the top you can see the different weeks here, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, like that. Okay, and here, so it's purely representing by using a particular bar. So this bar represents what? This particular activity's duration. The length of bar, it indicates the total duration of this activity. Okay, and The same thing even we can put in software also. That time if you just click on this particular activity, that entire details it will be known. Entire details are nothing but the start date as well as the end date of this activity, and then whatever the resources are required for this activity, and whatever the total expenditures, and even the quantities of resources are required for this. So each and everything will be known by using this construction schedule. And even you can see here for other activities such as site work and masonry, which is just going to start by completing this first activity, that is plan and contracts. So like that you can show that one by using particular bar here. Okay.
Yeah.